Hey guys, I'm Andrew McCorman. Welcome to Web3 TV. In today's video, I'm with Drishti Chalwa, the co-founder and CTO of Crowdpad. And we're going to discuss the most commonly asked questions people are asking in regards to what social tokens are and how it applies to them. But before we do, make sure you register to watch every episode of Web3 TV here, where we share inspiring stories of all things Web3, making a difference to the world. All sorted? Okay, let's go. Drishti, in this episode of Web3 TV, we want to ask you the most commonly asked questions in regards to social tokens, and in a bid to help, I guess, someone who's new to this space understand it a lot more. So what would you say are the most common questions people have when it comes to social tokens?
Generally, first question is always like, what are social tokens? And then just understanding its benefits, its use cases, understanding what it's compared to an NFT as well. There's usually a bit of confusion between the two. Yeah, those are the most common ones.
Fantastic. So what are social tokens?
Social tokens are just a branded cryptocurrency. So it's kind of like, it's just a digital currency as well. So it can be linked to a certain person or certain brand, a community, a group of members. So anyone who wants to launch their own token, when they do that, it's referred to as a social token.
Very cool. And
so the value of the social token also just changes based on demand and supply, just like any other currency as well.
Yeah, so it's essentially a currency associated with a community or a creator or a group of people that's different to, say, a fiat currency. Would that be true?
Yeah.
Okay, and guys, if you've missed our first video, I'll put the link up here for you in relation to what are social tokens. Drishti, you mentioned the next question people ask are, what are the benefits of social tokens? What would you say there?
The benefits would be that it enables the creator or the community to start monetizing from day one directly from their consumers, followers, members that want to join the community. It helps let them engage together as well and let both the sides benefit, because everyone who then holds the social tokens gains from that group growing. So everyone's incentivized to put in the work and help support and put the content out there or whatever it is. As that community or group grows, the value of the social token will grow, so everyone benefits.
Cool. So the community grows in the fact that they're getting more and more loyal supporters, and they in return reciprocate with tokens, which can grow in monetary, call it monetary value, or can be traded for fiat currency at some point, as an example. Or they have other benefits, would you say, other tangible benefits that they can receive by being token holders, other than just the gain?
That would just depend on the DAO or the DApp or whatever the organization is. So what they can do is provide different perks for holding the social token. So suppose if you hold this certain amount, or if you stake it, you get access to a certain level of perks, which could be exclusive access to content. If it's a creator, it could be one-on-one session with them, could be discount on merch, it could be access to a IRL event as well. So token holders can get different perks as well, depending on whoever's launched that token. They decide what is the value you get for holding it. So that's completely based off the creator. So if they decide to do that, you get extra benefits as well.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier that one of the questions is, what are some of the common business use cases? So who would be some of the biggest social token creators in the world at the moment that are utilizing this system?
So there are quite a few out there, actually. If you just go search them up, there are different ones that have kind of launched their own token on different platforms. What it's enabled them to do is really directly engage further with their audience, provide them with books, help them grow as well. Yeah, there's just a lot you can check out online as well.
Yeah, and are they using the social tokens in different ways, or is it always the same way to get community engagement, or is there other ways you can utilize the social tokens?
I think it's a little bit, it's quite unique because it's just like launching your own currency and then you decide how you want to build the economy around you. So it's completely like up to, firstly, it depends on like if it's an individual, like a creator who's launched their token, or if it's like a community or a brand. So it kind of differs as well. You can have like a lot of different use cases and you can really make it unique to you and how you want to do it. I think there's still like a lot of exploration that's being done around this because it's still relatively new. So it's such a like great space to start innovating in and like trying out new things. So like there are endless opportunities right now. So I wouldn't say there's like a single way to use it. I'm sure people will keep coming up with new ways as well moving forward.
And is it true that Miami, the city of Miami, the mayor of the city of Miami has introduced a social token for Miami residents? Or is that its own currency, or what's the story there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't read enough about it to comment on it, but that sounds really exciting.
Okay, and you mentioned earlier that there is a difference between NFTs and social tokens. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so let's take like a US dollar. If you have like, suppose like a bunch of notes of them, they're kind of like a social token because they're all standard. So all the, like suppose you have 10 $1 bills, all of them are equivalent to $1, right? But suppose you take that $1 and now it gets signed by like Bill Gates. Suddenly it's not just worth $1, to be worth a lot more based on like the value of Bill Gates. So that note would be like an NFT because it's unique. So each NFT is unique. So suppose that note, you can never get that same note again. Suppose because if he signs on a different date, it's kind of different from like the one he signed at that time. So each of those, if it's unique in any way, it's like each NFT is unique. Whereas for social tokens, they're all the same. They have the same value. And NFTs, social tokens, both of them, the value might change based on like demand and supply. But the difference is for NFTs, each one's unique. So it's like non-fungible tokens, whereas social tokens, they're a lot and they all have the same value, which might keep changing, but that's more like your regular currency, just digital.
And I guess there's a question I have, and I guess it's possibly one you frequently asked, but if a creator creates a social community and creates their own social media platform around that, and if assuming that's what they've done over and above the tokens, how is that different to traditional social media?
So with the traditional social media, it's more like you have a creator and then you have their followers and they might like engage with your content on whatever level they want, whether that's like, comments, anything. They're just engaging with the content from the creator. Whereas with Web3, what we're doing is making sure the users, the members, or like followers as well, are getting compensated for their contribution towards growing the creator. So whether that's with like social tokens, and then being able to buy the social tokens, and then as like they push the creator ahead and like give back to the community, the value of that social token increases. So they're benefiting as well from whatever they're putting in. So they're like further incentivized to keep doing that. And at the same time, from like holding the social tokens, you can get access to different books, you can get access to different events, and you can also win those same social tokens through different challenges. So suppose the creator wants like someone to edit a video or but like get like fan art together or something, they can then reward their members in the social currency. So then that member can keep the social currency if they want to and see like how it goes, hold it, or they can sell it back for another social for another like cryptocurrency, or like switch it back to fiat. You can really do anything with it. So it's just giving them more ways to be rewarded and incentivized. So it gives you, just get like everyone gains through it.
Yeah, it just sounds to me like it's going to encourage a lot more loyal followers and create a more loyal ecosystem. That's probably more niche than the traditional social media, which is, I know the algorithm specifically sort of targets them with their interest in that, but this one is you can opt in and opt out of anything you're interested in as far as the community goes and be rewarded with the tokens until you don't want to be, assuming you can on sell those tokens. Is that true? Is that a good understanding of that?
Yeah, that sounded good. And another thing is also with, suppose if you have like on a traditional platform, you have a certain number of followers, but then your account gets deleted or whatever it is, or your like whatever you used on the platform gets demonetized, it kind of affects your followers, your growth, everything, and you can't do anything or like not much about it. It's completely out of your control. So you're really reliant on that platform to keep running and for your account to always be there and for whatever like method you're using to always exist or like be pushed ahead as well. Whereas on Web3, if you have your own social token and suppose like the platform's gone, it doesn't matter because the social token will always be on chain. It's not reliant on that platform completely because the social token is all the data for the social token is stored on a certain blockchain. So even if you go onto another platform, it doesn't matter because that social token will always be there. All the records for it will be there. All the members or like wallet holders who hold your token will always hold the token because it's on chain and no one can do anything to change that. So you always have control over that, which is completely different from like Web2, where you have no power over, like you just have followers on this certain one platform. You go to another platform, you have to like build it up from the beginning again. Whereas with Web3, you always own the social token.
Yeah, certainly power back to the people. And in the future, is it going to be that you could literally join multiple communities and use the same social token, or you have to have a different one for each community? Or is there a development in place that allows for the transfer of that store of value to be, transferred into other communities?
So it's generally like if a creator wants to launch their own token, they decide like where all it can be used. So generally like each creator, each community, each whatever would have their own token, and you can switch that a token out for each other. So whether that might be like you have suppose like your token, like Andrew token, and then you can switch that back to like USDC, or you can switch it back to like buy my social token. So you can change around, whereas like normally with Web2, if you have like rewards for one thing, it's stuck with that one thing. You can't do anything to like switch it over to something else. Whereas here it's more interchangeable.
Yeah. And if you're starting out a community and you want to create your own social token, to raise the value of the token, is that really going to be a marketing play, or is there other ways of raising the value without it having to be about everyone knowing about it?
So yeah, marketing would be a part of it to like firstly let everyone know, but it's more about the value you're providing for the token holders, the content you're putting out there. So like right now, you're so focused on traditional social media platforms to see what's trending, follow those trends, maybe like make those trends more unique to you. Whereas here on Web3, you have to rethink the value you're providing. You have to see, are you really providing value, come up with new, unique ways? And I feel like this gives creators a lot more creativity and space to explore new things, because it's completely up to you. The content you provide or whatever value you provide is what would encourage people to hold your token or like buy more of it. So it's completely based on what you're putting out there.
Yeah, and can the community creator set the price of the token, or is it set by the demand of the for the token, or is it just literally up to what anyone values it at and willing to pay for it?
No, it's completely based on like demand and supply. It's based on a smart contract, but how the price will increase or decrease, no one person can control that.
Mm-hmm. And when I'm out, say if I'm working with you, you're the co-founder of Crowdpad, and and I come to you and I say, how many tokens should I put out into circulation? What would you recommend?
So that's a hard one. What we do is, because this can be really, really complicated, we have like a standard model that we put out there for anyone who's launching a social token on our platforms, to like kind of take away like all the complexities behind it. And then you can like release, another option is to like release the tokens in tranches. So like all the supplies not out there at once. That's another option as well.
And
there's no like fixed value that you necessarily like, oh, this is a supply you should use, because it's still like the price still gets affected by the demand at the end. So no matter what the total supply is, yeah.
So you could technically make it a scarce token and to raise the value, because it's not like Bitcoin, I guess. It only has a certain amount in circulation and total lifetime that will be in circulation. Could you do that as well and then obviously get some marketing behind it to raise the value at the start?
I mean, you could really do anything you want when you're setting the supply, but don't want to like keep it too low as well, because sure, it might lead to scarcity, but it still depends on like the value you're providing. What it might do is create hype for some time, because they're like, oh, there aren't many of these, so you like, scramble to get it. But after some time, the hype will die down, and then what? The price will fall. So it's more important to focus on the value you're providing than like the supply or the price. The price will just go depending on like how much people are buying it, which is completely dependent on the value you're providing. So I think it's a lot more important to focus on that part.
And when you have a new client come to you, or a potential client who's looking to, create their own social token or their community or the social media platform associated with it, what are their biggest fears or doubts or worries or even challenges that they want to know the answer to before they kick off the journey?
A lot of people are just they're just skeptical about the Web3 ecosystem. I think it's a lot from the negative stuff you generally see online, but I would say first, like, just start by researching, look at all like the projects that have been successful, and explore that a bit more. And at the same time, a lot of people are also just worried about, the creator might be really inclined to do this, but they're just worried about how their community will take it, whether they would think they might just be really worried in terms of oh, this person's like trying to make money off us. What is it like? How do these social tokens work? More skeptics around how their members will feel. So there can be like a lot of educational content you can start off with, like do more Web3 positive content first before like releasing your own token. Or on the other hand, what we've done is kind of done like a Web2 model of this, where like you're experimenting with equivalent of loyalty points within a community rather than social tokens. And what this does is gives them, like, loyalty points have no monetary value associated with it. So it's completely dependent on like the rewards you want to, the perks you want to provide for like the people who are paying for those things with the loyalty points. So what this does is it gives the creator and the members a chance to just play around and kind of get a hang of things. It simulates a bit of the social token behavior without like launching a social token and the monetary risks that are involved with it. So it gives part for all of us to like experiment, see what it's like, and then like once you see the benefits, then you can launch a social token.
Fantastic. So I guess, guys, if you've got any concerns, or you are interested in creating a social community or a social media platform and or a social token, but you want to maybe put those fears or doubts or concerns in the comments below, we'll get Drishti to answer them for you. Drishti, it's a fascinating conversation. Obviously, just me talking to you, it's raising questions for me, because I can totally see the value in it in the customer loyalty process long term, being able to raise value in the community, etc. So
what I would like to offer to the viewers too, guys, is we've got another video here that we're going to put together with Drishti. It's talking about her journey into this space. It's going to talk all about Crowdpad and how they can help you if you are interested in, I guess, onboarding into that space. So guys, keep your eye out. Click the link here if it's here already. It may not be because it might not have been uploaded yet, but Drishti, really appreciate your time. Thanks for asking answering all the frequently asked questions, and we'll see you in your interview.
Well, there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Web3 TV episode. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And remember, if you'd like to watch every episode of Web3 TV, visit the link below or subscribe to our channel. And remember to hit the bell icon so that we can notify you every time a new episode is released. I'm Andrew McComb, and I look forward to sharing more inspiring Web3 TV episodes, making a difference to the world. I'll see you soon.